everybody, so today I did a makeup tutorial on natural beauty, and this was actually a request from a subscriber, but I wanted to bring you guys something that just looks naturally flawless. And natural beauty isn't about hiding and covering things up. It's about embracing whatever imperfections you have and diminishing them, but still embracing your natural self. For instance, I have acne, but I used a tinted moisturizer. You can still see a couple pimples through there, but it's not glaring. Also, all the blush, all the contour, all the eye makeup is so natural that we don't want people to be able to tell that we're using it. We want people to look at us and say, wow, that person's gorgeous. Look at our eyes, look at our lips, not, oh, well, she has a lot of eyeshadow on, or oh, well, she has a lot of lipstick on. So this is something that's easy, it's quick, it's great if you guys are going to school and your school has regulations like no makeup, or not no makeup, but you can only do light makeup, or if you're going to work and you just want light makeup, or just if you're going out and you don't want to spend the time or the effort to get all caked up, or if you just don't want to look all caked up, which I totally understand. It's also using a tinted moisturizer, so it's even better for your skin than regular foundation. If you do have an acne problem and you can embrace yourself a little bit, this is great because you get more oxygen to the skin can breathe better. And it can exfoliate better so that you're not as clogged up. But I hope that you guys think this look is pretty, and I'll show you guys all how to do it. So first off, it's important to apply a tinted moisturizer, and I've already blended in one layer, so this is the second. I'm using this tinted moisture kind of as a primer too. If you do need foundation, I'll show you guys how to do a really light application with tinted moisturizer. But if you can use the tint and that's all you need, go for it. Or if you can get away without a tint at all and just do like sunscreen or something, that's what we want our base to be. And the tinted moisturizer I'm using is Brighten Up SPF 15 from Clean Start. I've been using their acne line and I kind of like it. So let me know if you want a review of it, but that's just what I'm using here. It has a little bit of color to it, and I'm going to start with this. So first off, let me blend this all in, and then if that's all you need, then great. And if not, then just use a sunscreen with no tint. And if not, then I guess I'll be right back and I'll show you kind of how to make this a little bit more full coverage. So next we're going to conceal just to make this a little bit more full coverage, and again, if you don't have to, then don't. You can also color correct right here if you need to. I'm just going to conceal. So this is the Hourglass one that I'm using. Use whatever you have that you like that works for you. You could apply it like this, but I actually like to take a brush, just kind of stipple it in, and then apply it to where I need it, and you can kind of build coverage on this too. I really like this concealer though, but like I said, use whatever you guys have. Who's my kitty? Who's my little pitucatu? Here's my little pitucatu. Now that I've concealed, I'm going to go in using the Urban Decay De-Slick Oil Setting Spray. Use whatever setting spray you like best. Next, I'm going to take a brush and dust on a translucent powder. And you guys can use any translucent powder you like. Now, the reason we're using translucent instead of an actual colored powder is because we want this to be a light, natural, beautiful look. I'm using just a tester of the Urban Decay Razor Sharp Ultra Defining Finishing Powder. And be careful because their mineral powder has oxybismuth or bismuth oxychloride, which I did a video on, and is mineral makeup better for you or not? So if you guys are interested in learning whether or not mineral makeup is better for your skin or what the harmful effects are, you may want to go see that video. But that's the setting powder does work well, I'll say. So I don't know if that ingredient is in this or not, because I don't know if this is mineral. It says Razor Sharp Ultra Defining Finishing Powder. I don't know. But that's just what I'm using, and I'm not using this little sponge. So use whatever translucent powder you like best. You want to just really lightly dust this all over your face. This is going to kind of set everything. And you might notice that it takes off some of the concealer in other areas of the face. If that's the case, that's totally fine. Just go back in with a little bit of it and just kind of do like a quick old touch up. Once you've applied your powder, you want to spray once more. Next, we want to go into blush, and for a full application, we would probably use a brush like this or something very dense, but because we want to make this a light look, we're going to do this a little bit differently. You could take either a big kind of color brush or even a buki brush like this. It's a kabuki, but I call it a buki, or like a baby buki. This is basically a powder that you put on your face, a powder brush, but we're actually going to use this just a little bit with our blush just to give us a really nice demure look because we don't want this to be over the top. Also, when doing very natural looks, you don't want your blush to be concentrated here like we normally do. We want it to be a little bit spread out and even up onto the forehead slightly. So as you guys can see, I'm applying it right here and kind of just taking it on one side and then going in a very circular motion. kind of like how I would apply normal blush. But as you guys can see, it's already blended out, and then we're going to blend it out, shedding. And then we're going to blend it out further with the kind of powder brush. And now you want to just blend this kind of up towards your temples. And you know, now you don't want to dip it back in the blush, you just want to use whatever's left on the bristles, and don't make it too dramatic, but just kind of go over and kind of get that color a little bit everywhere, just so that you have like a really nice glowy peachy look. So you're not looking sunburned, but you still look glowy and awake. Next, we're going to take our powder brush and just kind of powder over this area. We can apply more translucent powder if necessary, but the main thing to remember is that you really want to add powder right here, because when we're using the buki, it can get really close to our face and it's kind of hard to control, which is good for the demure look, but not so much for the rest of our face. So you want to make sure just to use this powder to reshape the blush so that you don't have, like, you know, patches, one that's really close to your nose, one that's far away, or one that's like way down and one that's way up. So make sure that you kind of keep that in mind. So as you guys see, I have blush on, but it's just super natural now. And it's just a great way to get kind of a glowy look all over the face. You can even do it down your neck a little bit, which is what I'm doing, just to kind of bring the pink everywhere. And like I said, it's not a dramatic pink, it's just a light pink, and that really just gives us a glowing look. Next, we want to contour just a tad bit, and because everything on our face is so light, we don't want to go overboard, but we really do need to chisel this out just because we don't have much foundation on. Pick any shade that's just maybe 1 or 2 darker than your natural skin and take it kind of on an angled brush. You just want to apply this really lightly right here, depending on your face shape. Now we have, you know, contouring and highlighting videos for your face shape, but this is where mine is. So do whatever you guys need for your face, and then we're going to blend this out after. So I'm going in really light and just kind of applying. Next, we're going to take our brush again, and you could apply powder if you really wanted to, like again with the translucent. But if you want, you can just dust this out. And because this is a little bit darker than our natural color, it's also going to give us kind of like a bronzy glow. So we're not going to look fake tanned, but we're not going to look really washed out either. And it's really great because it also shapes our face at the exact same time. Next, you could add just like a little touch of highlight. And so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to apply it kind of where I normally do. I usually use a very you know, matted like a sponge or something for a thick application. I'm actually going to take a fan brush, and yes, this is what I use to remove product under the eyes, but I'm going to take it, apply a little bit right there, and just ever so lightly dust it onto the areas that I need highlighted. I'm also going to take this and dust it a little bit under my eyes and on my cheekbones. My cheekbones just to make them look gorgeous, but under my eyes just to kind of wake up that area. Even if you applied concealer down there, you want to make sure just to kind of dust this out, just to give it like a really healthy glowy look. And then again, you want to apply it like right here to make sure that you don't have any awkward blush lines. Once more, we're going to blend out. Now because we applied this so sheer with a fan brush, you don't want to blend tough, so you might not even want to like circle, you might just want to stipple depending on kind of what the look you're going for is, but I like to stipple in certain areas and swirl in others. Next thing we'll get into is eyes, and I'm going to start off with a really light shadow. I'm going to be using this palette just because it's new and I'm kind of excited about it. Use whatever you have. You do not have to use this palette or any of the colors that I mentioned. It's kind of good to have a palette just in case you need to do touch-ups throughout the day, but it's really not necessary at all. So I'm going to start with just kind of like a flat shader brush, kind of like a 214. This is kind of more like a concealer brush, but use whatever you have. And I'm going to start off with Half Baked. So basically the idea here, it's this one. Apply a slightly shimmery kind of brownish, maybe a little bit golden tinge color, and we're just going to apply this to our lid. I got a blankie because I was cold. Anyways, next you want to take a blender, and yours should be clean. Mine has a little bit of stuff on it, but I'm not going to be tripping because it was just like mascara. And you want to take a slightly darker brown. You could use something like Snakebite, but that's a little bit too dark for what I was going for, so I'm going to actually use Chopper. And again, it's kind of one of these shimmery colors, but it's just kind of a, actually not even a brown, kind of like a light to medium brown. I'm going to apply this just to the very tip and push this up into my crease. Now, when we start doing kind of like our brow color, we do not want this to be overdone. So I'm going to take just a color that's very similar to my skin. This one is Booty Call. This one is what works for me. Again, on just a kind of swirler blender brush, but use whatever is right for your skin tone, whatever that may be. Take a little bit on here, and I'm not even going to push it up into the brow a ton, just a little bit there on that bone. And then I'm also going to go over and I'm just going to blend this in with this first color. So this is the one that has chopper on it, and I am going to just continuously push this into this light color, and then I'm going to continuously take this light color and put this light color kind of into the color chopper. Next we're going to go into liner, and this could be kind of tricky just because liner is so much room for error, but what we're going to do is only put this on our tight line and smudge it into the lashes, so not even much on our tight line. We want to put this in our lashes. Reason why is because it's going to make our lash bed look a lot fuller and more natural, and it'll really just make our eyes look gorgeous. So I'm using just any black liner that you guys have. Now as you guys can see, I've only applied my liner to the top, but naturally it transfers a little bit down here. So that's fine, and it gives us a really natural look. If you want, you can kind of sweep this away, but I'm going to leave it there because it just keeps us really, really natural. Take a fan brush and dust off any excess, and then we're actually going to go in with kind of like a pencil brush, just a really, really soft tipped brush. Next you're going to take a light color. You could use the color that you used up here. Probably would be best. That's what I'm going to do. I'm using, again, Booty Call. Take this and apply it right into this inner corner. And this is going to be such a light look, but it's really going to bring this out. Like, look at this eye as compared to this eye. Do you guys see that? It really makes a ton of difference. Once you've done that, we can go in with mascara, and you want to use a mascara that makes your lashes look the most natural. I'm using the Maybelline Lash Stiletto because that's what it does for me. CoverGirl has a good one as well. This one, like, it just makes them look so uber natural, but still gives them a tad bit of color. So that's what I'm going to be doing. For lips, we're not going to use lipstick or lip liner because we want this to be really, really natural. I've taken a Q-tip and just dipped it in water, and we're going to use this to shape our lips. So now that I've done that, take any lip gloss you want. It's better to use something sheer. I'm using the one that just came with this because it's a nice color too. Use something that complements your color though. My lips are naturally very pink. If yours are naturally blue, you might want to stick with something a little bit warmer like a red. If they're naturally, if you have a little bit of a redder color, you may want to go for something a little bit purple, but use whatever complements you. So I'm just going to apply this and make sure it's also a gloss that does not have a lot of pigment, just a very, very slight pigment. You can still see my natural lip color really, really well through there. But it's not overdone and it's not underdone either. So guys, that is all this look takes, and as you guys can see, it is extraordinarily natural. So if your school has a lot of kind of like specifications for what you can or cannot wear, or even if you just want to do something really natural for a day, or you just want something quick and you don't want to look like you're wearing makeup, you just want to look naturally gorgeous, I think this is the perfect fit. So I hope that you guys like this. I hope you guys found it helpful and can use it. Let me know your thoughts, and there's a helicopter outside, which is kind of scary because it's like hovering. And I love you guys very, very much, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Love you guys. Bye.